Okay, so I got the patch panel in. I did use tech screws around the perimeter of the patch panel and some RTV, keep the water from coming up from underneath. And then I bought like an inexpensive, I don't want to say it's not Dynamat brand, but it's an inexpensive brand of essentially tinfoil backed tar paper. And just for the sonde insulation portion of it and just, heat and cold. But I did lay that, you see I laid it somewhat perpendicular to the center line of the vehicle. It was a little easier to put on, and we could put a link to the description of the Amazon part that I bought. And I have to say it was actually quite good. Pretty pleased with that, considering that the Dynamat brand is actually quite expensive, and really this doesn't warrant it, this application. But you see, I didn't really get too fancy with that. Now, I did buy the carpet from Amazon. Put a link to that as well, as you see the brand there. It is made in the United States, and it did come relatively quickly. Probably within a week I had it, placed the order. As you see there's the part number. This is for Suburban. This is gray carpet. Now, they are die cut, but the holes for the factory locations are not die cut. So if you have a third row seat, if you have anchor points, also for the spare tire holder, that type of stuff, you have to punch the holes. You see, it is made in USA. And it was actually pretty pleasantly surprised with it. It was actually a pretty good product. It did come with some insulation on the bottom, so couple that with the sonde insulation that's in there, it should work pretty well. But you see, I have to kind of lay it in here. I'll have to pull the spare. I'll probably pull the side panels off as well for the rear HVAC, just because I have to tuck it underneath there. I may just use a trim stick, depending on how it goes. You see, there's no holes there for any of this. So if you keep the old carpet, that's one value the old carpet would have. You'd overlay this with the old carpet, mark where your floor holes need to be, and then punch them through. Now, the factory's nice, perfect round holes. If you have a punch that can do it without making a big mess, you could probably do that. But you see, you just kind of rough it in, see where it's going to fit. The sides do need trimmed. They do give you a little extra material on the sides, but not so much front to rear. Front to rear is pretty much, cut to form. Just kind of give you a look at there. See, there's one of my anchor points. That is a factory anchor point, and I'll have to punch holes through that. Now, it does have some creases in it from the shipping. We'll give that some time, but that should, once I stretch it and once I put it in, it should actually work out.